Fish pocket, fish pocket. She sells seashells down by the seashore. Are we about good? Can I actually form coherent sentences now? I've lost like half a dozen attempts at this segment because I just either can't explain what I wanted to explain to start off this segment, or I just completely fargo everything up and just have a whole bunch of really broken up shitty commentary consisting of sentences that make absolutely no sense. Anyhow, segment's running a bit late for obviously those reasons and the fact that this morning was a bit hectic. Had all my sister's kids over for the night and they were all loud and obnoxious, and there was a whole bunch of other random bloody crap that just sort of pissed me off over the course of the last maybe 12 or 24 hours. So yeah, that was a bit of a thing. We're here in Blackthorne City, in case you missed the bit in the description saying that I'd be starting today's segment here. A couple of things I wanted to show off here. First off, this place, you might remember, is the place where you find the move deleter. It is also in Heart Gold Soul Silver, the place where you find the move reminder, which just happens to be this dude here. He is free of charge here, probably because there's no real sort of currency other than money, because there's no like heart scales or mushrooms. There might be mushrooms, I'm not too sure, but for the moment he's free of charge, so that's pretty cool. Nothing there that he can really teach me at the moment, but this dude here, the legality fixer, this guy's actually kind of interesting because you can actually download this game as a 3DS file, so like you can use it as like a virtual console on your system. And it actually does work with Pokemon Bank and Poké Transporter. And so this dude fixes up any legality issues that you might have with some of your Pokemon, not least of which is Mew, because as we all know, if you get a Mew from the Mew glitch in Red, Blue, and Yellow, you can't send it through Poké Transporter because it doesn't have the right OTN ID. Obviously the same sort of case happens here. There is an event in this game which triggers a Mew to go roaming around the Kanto region, and if you try to send it up as it is, it won't work because it does not have the correct OTN ID. It's not the event one. That guy will change the OTN ID of your Mew so that it matches the event one and will make it technically legal to go through Poké Transporter, which is pretty cool. So that's pretty much what he does. He's obviously not relevant to my interests here at all, since I am running this on a emulator. But if you're running it on 3DS and you want to send your team up, then by all means go nuts. There's a few other issues regarding like event-only moves, because there's a guy who teaches the event-only moves to certain Pokemon in Goldenrod, as I think I think I've explained it, but I haven't actually shown it off yet. But he can teach some pretty useful moves, but not all of them will actually pass through as legal for some reason, but whatever. Little thing I missed just before is there's just a little chunk missing from the west of Blackthorne City, which allows you to just walk straight into the city from Route 44 and skip over Ice Path. The question now is, what the hell am I even doing in Ice Path to begin with? Once I've escaped from the Swinub, you'll find that the Waterfall HM is still here. So we're just going to go ahead and grab this, use Conifo's Dig, and then get the hell out of here. So now that's out of the way, I don't even know why I actually went and got this Waterfall HM. I guess just to sort of explore shit and just sort of prove that there's nothing in the waterfall area in the cave in Route 24, because I did say I was going to be exploring that cave today. And I found out that there was an area that needed waterfall to access. Spoiler alert, there is literally nothing there. I thought that I'd be able to find a Lapras up there, but no, I actually found it somewhere else. As you might remember, on Fridays in the original games, if you went down to a certain part of Union Cave, you would see a Lapras just sort of having a leisurely swim in the water. In this game, they have added Monday and Wednesday as possible days for you to find said Lapras, and then also decided to add a Lapras into that cave in Route 24. So besides the Smoochum, we're also going to be getting a Lapras in this segment. Well, I mean, that's assuming we even find a Smoochum in this segment, because I've still not actually found a Smoochum in that cave at all yet. What I'm actually going to do here, before we go into the cave, I've been back and forward with this through the last few failed attempts, but what I'm going to do here, we're going to put Salt Fairy away. Because I need a free slot in my party right now. And what we're going to do... Yeah, we can't actually go up to Route 24 through Cerulean, so we've got to go the long way up and around here and through these woods and past these stupid trainers who I've all completely owned. And then I can go down here, go around, and up we go, and this, that, and the next thing, and just have ourselves a grand old time by just going into this random house. So we'll go ahead and save state in slot 3. So yeah, this guy has just a random egg, and if you have either the Cascade badge or 4 badges total, he will give you the egg. He said it's a blue egg, and it's just sort of creeping him out. And as you can see, there is indeed a blue shading on this egg, which means it will hatch into a shiny. The question now is, what shiny is this thing going to hatch into? If I had known about this earlier, I would definitely have gotten some good use out of it, but at this stage in the game, since I've got my team pretty much sorted out, and I've already got 1 shiny on the team, this thing is probably not going to be... I might show it off at some point just to show off the mechanics of it, but... We'll see, we'll see what happens. Obviously, I don't really feel the absolute need to do it at the moment, but what we are going to do, let me go into the settings here. Set the fast forward speed to unbounded so that it goes at absolute max possible speed. Because we're going to go ahead and hatch this egg and see what is inside. Fair warning for anybody who might end up with a messed up head or have like some kind of epileptic seizure for watching me go back and forth from this at an extremely high pace. It's probably only going to take maybe 30 seconds at best, so I'd probably just close my eyes or just skip ahead a little bit. Because, yeah, here we go. So, yeah, if you actually sat through that, did you enjoy the obnoxious clicking and clacking of the 4 and 6 keys on my number pad? It was worth it. Especially if you're considering playing through this game, because this thing might actually be relevant to your interests. And it is absolutely nothing that should be hatching from an egg to begin with. Not that I'm complaining, because this shiny Ditto is an absolute freaking godsend to anyone looking to add a shiny or 2 to their team. Not just because the Ditto itself is shiny, which renders the option to choose a Ditto as your start of game starter completely useless, because you're just going to get a crummy old one unless you hit the 1 in 1024 shot at getting it. But as you might know, that was absolutely terrible. If you breed a shiny with something else, I think it either has to be a male or a Ditto. I'm not too sure about females or anything like that, but I know it's a certain case for a Ditto. If you breed a Ditto with something else, then whatever eggs you get have a 1 in 64 shot at being a shiny. So if I really wanted to have some more shinies on my team, or even have a team full of nothing but shinies, then I would love to have known about this shiny Ditto a lot sooner. Unfortunately, I've already got my team sort of sorted out. I mean, I could maybe switch it up and add some more team members maybe for the second half of the playthrough, but there's not really much of a reason for me to do it. And none of the shinies of the team members that I've got here in particular are that interesting to me, so we're probably just going to stick with Salt Fairy as the only shiny in the team. And so what we're going to do is we're just going to grab said Salt Fairy. And we're going to just pop you back in there. And then we're going to go into that cave and probably spend the rest of the segment exploring. And hopefully not just completely tripping over all of my words every freaking 10 minutes. 10 seconds. 10 light years. Brock takes 11, so yeah, this isn't going to be long enough. Anyhow. More of this crap. I don't know why I'm not just cutting this out. Speaking of cut, nah, I'll get it later. I'll probably end up forgetting to do it, but I do have to get the cut HM at some point, just so I can find out what the hell that item is. Which, now that I think about it, is the radio playing? Okay, that's cool. This is the Pokemon Lullaby, which I believe actually does decrease your encounter rate in places, so it's probably a good idea for me to go in here and then turn this on. So with any luck, I won't be running into wild Pokemon quite as often. I mean, I probably still will, but with any luck, they won't be as obnoxious as they were in the previous failed attempt. So I think we did find a Marill in the previous segment. Oh, actually, let me restrict the fast forward speed back to ×2, because if I put it too long, then it just completely wastes time and racks up time played on my thing, and I just don't like having a shit ton of time played when I've not really spent anywhere near that amount of time. Also, Heavy Ball. Just for some reason, there's a Heavy Ball. I don't know why. My thought process is it's probably good for catching Lapras, but I'm not too sure how the bonuses work on Heavy Balls. I think you need to be a lot heavier than Lapras to get the full bonuses out of a Heavy Ball, so probably not going to be that useful. I'm going to catch it in a Pokeball anyways, because that's just what I do. But yeah, there you go. There's just a free Heavy Ball for you. I wonder if all the other Apricorn Balls can be found somewhere in the overworld. That'd be pretty cool. Of course, switching from one area of this cave to another turns the damn music off, so that's really, really lovely. Because we're about to have to put the damn thing back on again. I feel like if I'm gonna find Smoochum, it's probably gonna be in this area because it seems very much isolated from the rest of the cave. So it's either that or the next area we're about to go back into. And at this stage, it's not much point in playing the lullaby any further because I'm going to be going on land, off land. It's just going to change the music up and it's going to be exceedingly obnoxious to just keep turning the damn thing back on. Escape rope, that's totally useful. And then down there. Alright. I would say I'm going to turn the thing back on once I jump onto the water, but there is actually something that I can get through surfing that is relevant to my interests, so can't just do that. Immediately turn around, not even have the opportunity to start surfing, and I run into a wild Pokemon. What the hell is this encounter rate? God, that's irritating as shit. Alright, so down here we've got two little exits, as well as this random platform, which I'll jump on here just to grab this item over here. As it is rule of thumb, of course, I have to run into like 1200 Marill before I collect it. So yeah, there's a Moonstone. In case I need to evolve stuff through Moonstone, that's a little bit of extra money saved. So this right one will take us to where the waterfalls are. And the only reason I'm doing this is just to prove that there is literally nothing there. Because if we do this, and we go up here, and run into a horsey, which is actually relevant to my interests, since it is not something that I've caught yet. So we'll take advantage of this little mini distraction and possibly grab this thing on the first ball like I did in the previous attempt. Or fate will have it be that this is the successful attempt, and therefore we'll just be like, okay, well, we're just going to make you throw like 10 balls at this thing. Oh, immediately break out. That's lovely. Sounds about right. Okay. Second ball, that's okay. Tearing my throat to shreds because I've been talking for about maybe 25 minutes worth of just scrapped footage, so that's kind of terrible. There's just this random bit of land here, and if we fire up the item finder, absolutely nothing. So I guess this is just a place for you to be if you want to fish, I guess. Not that this is the only place you can stand to fish in this area, but at least you get sanctity, because people need waterfall to get up here. So, yeah, there's Maryland's shelter. Kind of makes me wonder if I fished here long enough, I might be able to find an Azumarill. I've not, like, if it is here, then I've not found one yet. So, it's probably going to be obnoxiously rare, so I'll probably show that off maybe next segment if they are encounterable here. The alternative is that I could probably come back here with the Super Rod and grab one then. So, yeah, that's pretty much all that was. There's a fork in the road just down here. Well, fork in the proverbial road. That just takes you to another waterfall, which just takes you back to the area that we were just in. And there is another waterfall up there at that area that requires waterfall, but it is completely uninteractable at all. So, not a whole lot of useful stuff. Yeah, just random Corsola. If you want to use a Corsola, here's a low level one for you to pick up and use. So, if we go over here and up north from this direction. Yeah. At this stage, my commentary is just leaps and bounds better than the last couple of lengthy failed attempts, so I'm just going to roll with it. So here's the Lapras. Let's throw our save state here. And, who do we want to lead with? Slumborg sounds like a good idea. I can hit it with a Thunder Punch, put it to sleep. Good times. Alright. And just, you know what? I'm going to reload the save state just so I don't have to run into that stupid Corsola. Yes, I am that petty. Level 30. Does that mean this thing scales with your current badges? I would assume that's the case. At least this way I know it's not going to die to one Thunder Punch. As a matter of fact, it's not going to die from 3 either. Also, Paralysis. I'm okay with this, because I actually did find out that some status conditions in this game don't actually affect catch rate when they're supposed to. I believe those are fixed, so that's pretty good. Also, I think I mentioned how obnoxious fastballs were in terms of value. I actually found out that those were fixed as well. They usually only worked on Tangela, Magnemite, and Grimer, all of which were Pokemon that could run away. It was supposed to be able to work on everything else that could run away, but for some reason it just didn't. That has been fixed in this hack, so it is actually pretty useful to catch stuff like Delibird, and I think you could catch the Beast with them. I assume that that's the case, but Lord knows. Okay, so let's see how obnoxious this Lapras is going to be. Not at all. Okay, that is really, really awesome. Because I think this thing has a catch rate of 45, so catching in the first ball was nothing short of awesome. And I believe there is one more item I have left to pick up, which is why I'm not digging immediately. I want to go over in this general direction. And there's a ladder on this patch of land somewhere. Yeah, here we go. And I believe over... whereabouts is it, actually? Come on. I could turn on the, lullaby now. Yeah, screw it, I'll just go ahead and do it. Yeah, here we go. Another rare candy. That's 2 of them in the cave. Okay. Far be it from me to complain. Okay, let's see. Not quite at 20 minutes recorded yet, so kind of wondering what I want to do next. I could go and maybe spend some time looking for either Azumarill or Smoochum, but you don't really need to do that. You don't really need to see me do that, so I think what we're going to do is we're just going to leave. If I am able to find and capture those 2 Pokemon off screen, then I will show that off. The question now is there anything that I want to do to kind of add a little bit more time to this segment, or do I just want to bring it to a close here? I think for my better judgment, it is probably best if I close the segment right now, so at some point in the future, I will probably show off the process of hatching a shiny from a shiny Ditto bred Mon thingy-mabobby bagels. But for the time being, I think I'm just going to pull the segment here. Hopefully not lose all of my sanity. And give you something nice and short to watch instead of something that just exceeds 30 minutes in length. So, next time I think I'm just going to stick around in Cerulean City. Maybe explore a couple of other places. Probably also do the gym while I'm here. I have no reason not to do the gym, so I'll probably go ahead and smash that out. So, I will see you for that.